buckle up, because this might be a ride. I've had a heck of a day and a real roller coaster ride today of full gamut of emotions. And so be ready for anything, because anything could show up here. Because I'm going to allow myself just to be okay to be where I'm at. And sometimes today, where I was at wasn't very wonderful. I didn't feel excited by it. I felt quite anxious. I felt inundated and sometimes even attacked. And so, what started off as a good morning with, getting up and doing my meditation, and then, putting myself in a position today where I had to. We were out for an essential shop. Riley and I do a shop every month at Costco. Once a month, always have. We find it better to buy in bulk and then supplement through the month. So today was our day. So we haven't been there for a whole month. So that was just before sort of frenzied shopping and 6 feet distance and stuff like that happened. And so it's been a while since we were in that situation. And today, when we showed up at 7:30 in the morning for a place that opens at 9, and there were hundreds of people there, and it was really militant, and my stress level went up immediately. I was like, wow, this is just overwhelming. And you want me to back in the parking lot and loop around and snake with hundreds of other people, and everybody needs to stay 6 feet apart, and people are yelling outside and inside the store, keep your social distance, do not leave your buggy on the side. And so I can feel these shocks to my nervous system that are happening. I don't like it, but I know that I'm there, and I have a purpose. So I'm only there for a short time, and I need to fulfill getting groceries so that my family can live for this month. So, but that being said, the energy that is out there, I hate to indicate that it's somewhere other than here, but for here, I've been able to control or surrender into those places that help me stay better focused, better grounded, better calm, better balance, better peacefulness. And when I stepped into the arena today, I was not prepared for what was out there, which is this intensity that's in the air. And it's a felt experience, absolutely. And not to say that it shouldn't be happening or anything else. I totally get why it is. It's nerve-wracking, like, that I'm walking around going, oh my God, I don't want to breathe your air. Just go away, like, get away from me. And, and that there are some people that are like, they have full masks on, like respirator masks and stuff, like kind of like we're in a movie or something. So as I'm trying to adapt my character as to, what part I'll play in this movie today, I have totally gone to a place where I'm no longer grounded and feeling centered in my body. I'm in this hyperactive place, and I'm agitated. I get home, I've got a headache. I haven't had enough water. My routine is out the window. I'm angry and upset and sad and mad and glad all at the same time, as we're wiping down groceries. So what usually takes an hour and a half to 2 hours is now taking 4 hours to make sure that our family's safe, and not knowing what's enough but not crazy, and where that line is, and how to decipher where to get to it or how to get to it, and really realizing that in every moment in that hyperactive place that I'm not in the presence. I'm somewhere else, and I'm darting all over the place, and my energy is really scattered. And so even though I spent a lot of time in that place today, and almost like after Costco, I couldn't recuperate. Like I was busy trying to concentrate on my homework and concentrate on what I should be doing with my time, all the things that are on my list. And I like to check them off because that feels accomplished. And then I feel like I'm actually doing something in a day, and giving myself zero grace about where I was, but wanting myself to be somewhere different. Well, why does this need to be affecting me? Why does this need to be happening? Why does it need to look like that out there? Well, the truth and fact of the matter is it does. And so I can be in resistance to that all I want, and all I'm going to get is more resistance to that. And that is going to build up and build up and build up and accumulate to the point where it's, comes to a head. And and I feel like, you know, like I'm going crazy. And so today was a really big lesson in allowing me to be where I'm at. So instead of thinking that I had somehow failed myself and, you know, last week was so much better and in that place called comparison, I don't know if any of you do that, but, you know, like yesterday was better. I was flying high. Everything was so good. And now I've crashed to the bottom and I'm going to live here forever because it's my accustomed place to live. And I keep thinking, I'm never going to be that happy again. I'm never going to be back to that other, you know, feeling. And the truth is, I may or may not, but in this moment, that's where I'm at. And so, really allowing myself the grace in that moment to say, okay, that's enough. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take a breath. It's okay to fuck it up. It's okay to honor exactly where I'm at instead of always hoping for the best version of me to show up somewhere out there. So, excuse me, I can react from that place of regalness when I have everything handled and everything is wonderful. Because sometimes my life does look like that, and I yearn and long for it to look more like that. But the truth is, if I'm faking it, and I'm pretending to be in a place that I'm not actually being and I'm not actually feeling, then I'm actually out of alignment with myself. And so today, when I experienced some really huge heartache after some really low lows and having some really high highs, when I plugged into my Hilarapy group, which, by the way, is a weekly drop-in group for comedy, which is such a great outlet because without comedy and being able to laugh and having that levity with Hilarapy and my community that is building there, I'd be lost. I'd really be lost because laughter is such good medicine, and I need to remember to take the time to pause and laugh, because either then potentially I'm in this really scared place or this really crazy happy place or somewhere in between. But laughter uplifts me. It actually makes me feel something different in my body. So therefore I know that it's a good key to unlocking, you know, being in the moment or getting myself out of that moment and into a different vibration. And I was reading today about hertz. So the idea that, you know, energy is always moving, but it moves at different intensities, if you will. So it's measured by hertz. And that when I'm meditating and I'm centered and I'm balanced and I'm here and I'm present in my present body and situation, and I'm in that calm place, we're registering at about a 7 hertz volume, I guess, for lack of a better term. And that when we go out there, particularly right now, it's like doubled that. And so that's what I mean by feeling the intensity. Like it's in the air. I don't know how to explain it other than it's a felt experience. And I'm sure that others of you are having that experience where, you know, people get anywhere close to each other and sphincters tighten and everybody freaks out. And I don't know, you know, that person across the park is spitting that far, or their micro, you know, droplings and stuff like that are going to get that far. And that, I guess that's the, you know, the one problem is that there's just so many unknowns that we're uncharacteristically going to the place of doom. Everything must be doom. And so, you know, I find that sometimes when my dial of doom is doomed all or dialed all the way into doom, I can find lots of evidence as to why to be in that space. And so the practice is, you know, for me always is to, what tools can I access right now to get me into a different space? Laughter is one of them. So after going to my class tonight and being there for an hour and a half with, you know, 12 people online, we all kind of did breakout rooms, which was really cool on Zoom, going somewhere else with a group of people. And when I started talking for my 10 minutes, I said, you know, I really don't have comedy. I haven't felt funny in a while. I'm here to observe. I'm here to laugh. I'm here to contribute in whatever way I can to everyone else. But I'm here and I've chosen to be here. And then as I started talking about where I was at, then all of a sudden I had feedback about, well, where could you go with that with comedy? And where could you, you know, what about tweaking that and talking about that? Like that could be funny. And the truth is I hadn't looked at it like that. I hadn't gained that perspective from it because I was in it. And when I took a step back and looked from someone else's point of view, and when I could see what they were leading to, it triggered the ignition of that for me, and I was able to write and write and write and write, and stuff keeps coming, and I don't know when it'll come, when it'll stop, and everything else, but I'm dedicated to allowing it to surface, burble up, and pay attention to it, because I think it's important. There's good content there, and I like laughter, and I like being funny, and I like causing laughter with other people, and I love laughing with other people. It is such great medicine. So although I've had this topsy-turvy, up and down and sideways and backwards and crazy day, and there are parts of me that feel very underaccomplished in the things that I meant to get done today, and sometimes it's so hard just to say, that's good enough. It's okay. Take a moment, breathe. So I always try and remember, if I was somebody else and I had the same sort of chemistry and day and events and feelings and and all these sort of things that had happened, and I was being told that from somebody else, what would that provoke in me? And the truth for me is compassion. I find myself so compassionate when people are beating themselves up, when they're dogging themselves, when they don't believe in themselves, when they're not rising to what they could be, and hitting their stopping places and stopping. But I love people where they're at. And today's meditation for me was all about surrendering the control of needing to control what it looks like. And if I could just control it, then everything would be fine. And instead surrendering into it, which is the opposite of what I would normally choose. For my logical mind, it doesn't make sense to surrender to a place that feels really painful right now. But the truth is, there is some kind of magic in the surrender and the release of needing to control the outcomes, needing to control the vehicle, needing to control the person, needing to control the environment, whatever that piece looks like, and being able to ultimately turn that back on myself and say, okay, so when I'm outwardly trying to control things that I, A, don't need to, and B, really can't, that's my opportunity. That's sort of a hello, pay attention. What's going on for me? What is it that's going on in my body that's feeling out of alignment with how I really want to be feeling? What am I in resistance to? What am I trying to change, or what am I trying to push back from? I didn't want Costco to be busy today, and it was. And at any given chance, I could have opted into taking myself to that deepened state, because I've been practicing, so I know how to do it. And all I know now is that going forward, knowing how that affects me, I can put a strategy in place so that I can remember to bring myself into that place. So it's not about beating myself up about what I didn't do. It's about paying attention and being aware of what I can do differently next time, given the opportunity. To love myself a little more, to hold myself in security and safety, and make sure that I'm okay. And on that note, I'm going to bed. I'm going to have a really good rest. I have a Toastmasters meeting at 7:30 tomorrow morning that I'm looking very forward to seeing my fellow peeps at. I hope you're being safe out there. I hope you're being safe and sane. And whatever you're doing to make that happen, bless you. And blessings to anyone who needs them. Mwah. Ciao for now. See you tomorrow.